Today, Saturday, the 8th of March 2025, we have some hand-picked match prediction to share with you for the NBA. And of course, we want to say congratulations based on yesterday's event for we all registered wins. And before we proceed to the games of today, I first of all want to share with you the games we had in terms of yesterday's event. And to those of you who want to have access our hand-picked event for the NBA upcoming match predictions based on our hand-pick with huge odds, then you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. We're finding games based on our handpick for the NBA and also in the Euro League and also big events league, which of course have high possibility rating, which you can take advantage of this. To those of you who want to join as a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to have access to our handpick event, then you want to make sure to join either the Level 2 Pro plan or the Level 3 to have access to these features. The link is below this video description. You want to make sure that you go ahead to join, to also become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan or Level 3 Master to have access to our handpick event, which other members are taking benefit of it. So without wasting time, let's look at the event of yesterday. So yesterday, the first game we had in the NBA, we looked at Brooklyn Nets against Golden State Warriors. We said that Golden State Warriors is going to lead, and it ended as 121 against 119, making Golden State Warrior to lead. Congratulations, it was successful. In the next, we looked at Boston Celtics against Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, we said that the home is going to lead, and it ended 123 by 105, making the home to lead. It was very successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at a match between Atlanta Hawks against Indiana Pacers. We looked here at the possibility of a combined number of goals over 220, and that is 215 to 220 over. Here you can see that it ended as over 140. Of course, this is 20, that is 120, 130, 142, making it a very huge success. So these were the three events we shared with you yesterday. All of it were successful. So congratulations based on yesterday's pick. And now, of course, let's proceed to the first event of our today's list. Looking at the first event on our today's list, we want to look at Charlotte Hornets against Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA. Of course, of looking at this, we want to first of all look at the performances rating in terms of the recent event they've had. Looking at the ratings, the home Charlotte Hornets have proved that the defensive line is not very good in terms of recent event they've had. They do concede too much number of goals in recent event. They just had the same here. But that of Cleveland, on the other hand, have a very high rating. The offensive rate is very strong. And looking at the recent performances they have had, they are very, very good. And looking also at the recent head-to-head they have had, Cleveland have mostly lead. As you can see, Cleveland lead 116 to 102. And you can see Cleveland here had a lose. Charlotte beat it 118 by 111. This time, Cleveland have a very good form. And looking at the stand performance by the rating, we want to look at the form. And looking at the home form of the home team, you're going to see that the percentage win rating for the home is not very good. They are just 0.2 with scoring of 530 and conceding of 585. But that of the away Cleveland, in terms of the recent event they have had by the rating, Cleveland proved to have a very good rating. Percentage win rate is 1, for which that of the home is just 0.2, and of course 1 is greater, more than it of 0.8, to prove that the away is very good, with score rate of 625 as compared to that of just 5 something for the home, and also concede of 520. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, Cleveland have proved to be very good. We look at it to take advantage of the weak defense of the home to lead in full time as the major pick, since its performance recently have been amazing. So we are looking at the way as the favorite and to lead this match in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at a match between Oklahoma City Thunder against Portland Trail Blazers. For this event, of course, the recent performance of the home have proved that they are good. As you can see here, the rating at which its score is good, 137, 128, 115. The rating is very good in terms of recent event they've had. They just had one lose against Minnesota. As you can see, Portland, on the other hand, is also good. And even though they do concede as much as well, looking at the performance in recent event they've had, they are good and they do concede as well. The stance in terms of the recent event they've had by their forms, the home team, based on the form performance, have proved that sitting on the home place, you're going to see, of course, here, this is it here, with rating of 0.8 to prove that they are good. They score very high amount of goals and they also concede very much. That of its opponent, on the other hand, in terms of the recent event they have had, also prove, as you can see here, that they have rating 0.6, which is also good at away, scoring 616 and conceding 586. And looking at every calculations, want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides are good in the striking power. They do also concede, and of course, they want to impress for this particular gameplay tournament. Therefore, want to look at over goal in joint event, looking at over 210 to 215. And you can still go to 216, 217, and maximum 220. So we are looking at between 210 to 215. The first set, we are looking at the second set, 215 to 220. So these are the two sets we want to look at. You want to find your range here between over goals 210 to 215, first set, then second set 215 to 220s in the goals probability. This is our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next here, we looked in a match between Denver against Phoenix Suns, still in the NBA USA. Of course, the performance of the home proved that they are amazing in terms of recent gameplay they have had, just having one lose against Los Angeles Lakers. That of its opponent, on the other hand, also have proved that they do concede very much number of goals. The conceding strength is very, very high. And looking at this, since the home have a very good stance in terms of the form by the recent gameplay they have had, the rating of the home sits here. Denver is 0.8, scoring 623, conceding 586. They are good at scoring, concede as much as well. But that of the away, the conceding strength is very high. And of course, the rating of the away Phoenix is just 0.2, giving advantage for the home to score a lot. And you can see 634 concede, 598 scored. This proves that they are good at scoring and they do concede as much as well. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the two sides tends to concede very much. Even though the home performance is very great in terms of the strike power, of course, the way we want to impress this time, and he tried to score a lot of goals, causing the fact that the goals will be very huge here. So we don't want to give any favorite. They're looking at over in the combined effect, looking at over between over 215 to 220 and even 225 in full time. This is the over number of goals we are looking at. 215 to 220 and 220 to 225. So these are the two set, over 215 to 220 and over 220 to 225. Between this range is the goals effect in terms of over. And these make a total of the three games we want to share with you. You want to make sure to find your picks in the list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And if you want to access even more games with huge odds with our hand pick event, we have combined the basketball match picks in one slip. Then, of course, you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro plan to have access to our hand pick event to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to click to access this, and you're also going to benefit from other hand pick events like other game prediction events like corner kick events for football, straight wins for football, corner kicks, goals probability, and other match prediction picks in different categories. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.